Tim Allman, BBC News.
Well, let's end the programme where we began, with those clashes between pro and anti-government demonstrators in the centre of the Egyptian capital, Cairo, overnight. Eyewitnesses say shots were fired, there were more casualties. The journalist Nabila Ramdani, who writes extensively about Egypt, is here. Where do you think all this is going? Because when you look at the pictures, there clearly is no attempt by the authorities to stop these clashes between pro and anti-supporters.
Absolutely. It's very clear that, if anything, they are encouraging people to fight each other. And it's very unfortunate to see that Egyptians who were only 2 days ago protesting together with a one aim in mind, that is to try and force President Mubarak to leave, are now fighting each other. And as you said, the police is nowhere to be seen and the army is not interfering at all. That
is very dangerous for the authorities to do that, though, to leave things to the streets.
Indeed. It's very clear that there's no attempt whatsoever by the army. It's a signal as well that it's not a very efficient army. But it's very clear to me that the future of the Mubarak regime is not being decided on the streets of Egypt, but between generals in Washington. It's no coincidence that when the demonstrators the Egyptian Army Chief of Staff was in Washington. There's now a top US general who's flown to Cairo to talk to President Mubarak. So it's very, things are discussed behind closed doors between top generals.
Do you think that pressure from Washington and indeed the rest of the world is going to increase?
Definitely, but it's very clear as well that Washington is very nervous to see a dictator go, which is highly ironic. There's too much at stake in the region. They want to protect a military relationship with Egypt, a 30-year peace process, peace agreement with Israel, protect Israel's border with Gaza, and indeed access to the Suez Canal. There's an awful lot at stake in the region and a lot to lose if they don't know who else is going to take over.
And briefly, when you look at what's going on in Egypt, it is appallingly bad for Egypt's international image, isn't it?
It is indeed, and it's very damaging for the economy. I think tourism is suffering massively at the moment, but I'm quite optimistic that when things do go back in order, the economy will pick up again. And let's not forget that Egypt has seen violent terrorist attacks in the past, and it has always been able to get the economy back in order.
Nabila Ramdani, thank you very much indeed. And of course, you can online BBC